toward. There you go.
Got it. Thank you.
Here we go. Okay. Okay, I'm Chafica Miles from the Maryland area. So I've been a Jafra leader, I guess, for the last 25, 28 years here. So looking forward to talk to you just about building teams and sponsoring and just growing in your Jafra business. And I have my wonderful, beautiful partner here with me, and Marie, and she can introduce herself.
Oh, absolutely. Good afternoon, good evening. I love this technology where we can bring everybody together. It doesn't matter where you are in the United States. So welcome, welcome. I am Marie Menard. I am from the East Coast, so it's evening here. And I have been in Jafra for 23 years now, and absolutely love everything about Jafra. You know, it all starts with the product, but we know it's so much more than a product. So we are very happy here tonight to be able to share with you, to be able to motivate you, maybe inspire you and educate you about some of our experiences with Jafra and how we are growing in the business as well too. So we're excited. So sit back, open your hearts, open your minds, and let's get this thing going. Chafica.
Okay.
Perfect. So I am just, excuse me. Let me just start to share my screen here with everybody. Here we go.
Okay. So what it says here, it just feels right being a leader. And that's why all of us have been Jafra leaders for a very long time, because it just feels right. You stand out from the crowd and you open the door to more income, to build a legacy with you and your family. And everything about the Jafra leadership program is just amazing. So like I said, this is Welcome to 4 Weeks to Leadership. We're gonna learn a little bit about planning and prioritizing and promoting. So those are the steps into building your team. Exactly. So the first item we're talking about is planning, and that is creating your strategy. That's where you decide, okay, I want to be a leader, and I have to plan my strategy. I have to know, first of all, what are the requirements for being a Jafra leader. You have to have a team of 4. You have to directly sponsor 4 team members. Those team members can sponsor more team members ongoing. And you plan your strategy for you and your team. You choose a month that you want to promote out, and between you and your team, it's going to be a total of $2,400 in retail sales that you and your team have to do. So you want to create your strategy of when you're going to do it, who's going to do what, work with your team every day, have your team name prior, so everyone will be in and feel part of the team as well. The next thing you want to do is you want to prioritize. You want to stay on track. And Jafra is great in helping us do that by all the reports that Jafra has to help us track, to help us keep on schedule, to know where you are from the first week of the month to the middle of the month, and everything to stay on track. And count on your team members, all of you who have sponsored so far. There's something in your team members that you saw in them. So each of your team members brings a specific skill to your team. And that's what makes a team so great, because it's not just on you. Everybody has different skills. They have different qualities, you know, different personalities as well. But if you all come together as far as for that common goal to promote out, then you'll be great as doing that, and just concentrate on each other's strengths, and just concentrate on having each one of your team members feel involved on the team. You know, you can give them a to-do list or a task or anything like that. You can work your team together, go out, you know, together, do a Zoom party together, do a Facebook party together, so you can build your team strengths. And then to promote, that's when you launch your team. That's when all of your hard work from creating your strategy to prioritizing, to stay on track and to promote and launch your team. That's the date where you say, okay, this is where we're going to launch. We're going to start up, we're going to launch, and we're going to cross the finish line together. So those are the three things for you to plan, to prioritize, and to promote. And if we can stop sharing, and I'll just ask a couple of questions as far as just to find out where some of you are in the leadership program, and those of you who have sponsored already, if you can just type in the chat real quick, what are some of those qualities, like what made you sponsor that person, invite that person, and share Jaffa with them? So some of you who have sponsored already, I know, I think, well, Ashley, I know Ashley's getting out of her car. Are you on right now, Ashley? Okay, I know she's getting out of her car right now. Okay.
Yeah, I'm always doing a million things at once, you know. I'm going into the grocery store, so.
Okay, so I know you have Lexi on here. We met her, and she was telling us a little bit about herself. So what made you invite, share the opportunity with Lexi here?
Well, you know, I knew Lexi was doing other direct selling companies, but I knew that they weren't working, so I knew I just had to get some product on her skin and that she would love Jafra like we all do. And that Jafra would be such a blessing because we're so helpful in all of the, you know, things that we do, all the team meetings and team trainings and stuff. Jafra is just a blessing more so than any other company like that. And I knew she'd love it.
Oh, okay. Okay, great here. So Lexi, you want to share anything about Jafra also too, as far as being invited to join and you said yes to the opportunity?
Like Ashley said, you know, I did 2 different other companies, and I've never gotten the support that you guys give me. And like, you know, we're supposed to launch a party when we first signed up. I never got the help with that. And when I became part of this team, like they were like on top of it. They're like, Lexi, you got to get this done. This is how you do it. And I feel like this is a family that I can, you know, count on. So.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing. And that's what it's all about, building and helping each other be successful. So I'm going to share with you a couple of people that I know you have heard of before who have some very powerful leadership skills, and I'll share my screen in a minute here, that have all built teams at one point or other here. So we're going to talk about the importance of building teams. So first of all, we're talking about Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Now, Dorothy is like all of us. She started off by herself. So she started off by herself, and she started easing on down the road by herself until she met other people to join her team. So she met the lion, she met the scarecrow, she met the Tin Man, and just like leaders, she saw something in them. So Dorothy saw potential in each one of them, and she made them see what was inside of them all along. She made them see that, you know, lion had courage, you know, the scarecrow had a heart and everything, the Tin Man had a brain and everything else, but she pulled that out of them and made them see the potential that they had inside of them. And then in turn, they taught her to never give up. She had given up about going home and stuff, but they taught her as far as to never give up here. So that's one example of a team as well. Another example is Gladys Knight and the Pips. Now, how many of you love Gladys Knight and the Pips here?
I do.
Okay. So Gladys taught us how to jump on Gladys, Gladys taught us how to jump on the friendship train and shake a hand and make a friend here. So
She's a personal friend of mine.
good. So
Beautiful woman.
Yes. So when you listen to Gladys Knight's song, jump on the friendship train, all she is talking about is getting out there, meeting people, shaking hands, and making friends here. And that's what we do in Jaffa here, just like Lexi was saying here. And the next thing is, the next person you all know is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs here. So you started off with Dorothy. She had a team of three there, and then Gladys had her 3 pips here. Then we moved to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs with her support that she had there. And I looked up the moral of the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And the moral of that story is beauty is not what you look like, but who you are. So who does that remind you of? Our founder, Jan Day. And Jan Day started Jaffa because when she went to a beauty counter at a store, she was told that she wasn't beautiful enough. But she showed everybody who she was and who Frank was. And she built this fantastic company that all of us are part of right now. So I didn't know that there was a moral there. I looked that up and I learned something new on that here. So you had Snow White and your 7 dwarfs. So as a leader, you start off with a team of 4, and then you just continue growing. You can grow to 7. And then last but not least, the most fantastic leader out here is Jesus and his 12 disciples here. So his 12 disciples, they all responded to the call, and they changed the world in which we live in as far as right now. And just like as us leaders, Jesus spent years training them. And what he did, he trained them to take over and to carry on his work. And it's just like all of us here in Jaffa. We as leaders, we reach out to people. We train people how to share the opportunity and take over and carry the work on as Jaffa, which is sharing and caring. So I'll just stop sharing for a minute, but I want to bring those fantastic leaders to you here. So those are something that we see every day, and just think of anybody else that you can think of, any other leaders that you can think of here. You start with your 4, which Jaffa is starting very 4, and then you can move to 7 to 8 to 12, and then on from there. And the people that you bring in can bring other people in too, because the purpose of your team is to continue building it and to continue sharing that opportunity here. Okay, anybody have any questions on that? Anybody else can think of anybody out there that has teams that's a great leader here? Oh, Gladys belongs to your church, Vicki. Hey.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm so proud of it. She has a wonderful choir out of Las Vegas. I wish I could sing, so she'd let me be in her choir, but I don't have that good of a voice. So I'm going to tell you, I'm a great leader in Jaffa.
Yes.
You know what? I wonder if I should show you my last check. I wonder if I can show it. You really can't talk about, you're not supposed to really talk about your income.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't know, I went down and showed my neighbor. I said, just look at this check. This is how much my commission was for just last month. So it's a great sponsoring tool. So I'll come back in a minute. You guys stay on the call. I'll come back in a minute and show you. But anyways, I'm excited because Jaffa is allowing me at my position of ambassador to pass my legacy or my team, my lineage to my daughters. Mm-hmm. So my income will go on forever. I'm excited about that.
Okay, and that's what it's all about, building a legacy here.
Yeah.
And passing it down here.
Right.
So.
Yeah. What are you leaving? Right? What are you leaving behind? What are you leaving to your family? Exactly. That's amazing.
Yes, exactly.
It is, isn't it, Marie? I
It
mean,
is
this is
fabulous.
no other direct sales company that I know of
Mhm.
allows you to, of course, like I say, that's something to work for, the ambassador title, because there's so many perks that come with that title. That should be your vision. Did you see we had a picture today of Rosa in her gold gown.
Go dress, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I just want to say to everybody out there, be sure you join the Facebook. Be sure there's such a network that Jafra has of help. So be sure you join the Facebook. Be sure when you're a leader, you get to be an Amber region leader. And, there's just so much support out there for everyone. I know that Chafica, I know you, Marie, all have teams. So we're all so willing to help. We really are. We want you to be successful. And when you build your own team, that's where the income begins. And my favorite thing is the bank analogy. So every one of you out there that's sending money to Jafra, just remember you're giving to the bank that pays 0 interest. But if you become a Jafra leader, then you're going to give to the bank that's going to pay you back beginning at 11% interest. It's nice for me because I get 18% interest back.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's great.
Are you going to use that?
Okay.
That's working smarter, right? Not
I
harder,
know.
right? That's working smarter.
Not harder.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, we can go on to and Vicki, when you get a chance, if you can put your Zoom number meeting on your Saturday calls in the chat here.
Oh, I invite everybody on this call.
Yeah,
I'll put it on there. You're all invited to join me on Saturday. We have a great time.
Yeah. Okay. So we can start sharing.
Absolutely.
Marie.
Okay.
Okay. So here we're going to get to the weekly review sheet. Now, this is you can download this on the Amber region in the downloads there on the weekly training. But our weekly review sheet, this is so great to use. It basically keeps you focused. It tracks your results and also helps you perform a habit. And like anything, if you do anything repetitive, it's going to be second nature to you. It's going to be something that you're going to have stuck in your mind. And this helped me a lot. All of us on this webinar right now, we all have so many things going on in our life here. So, this keeps you organized. With everything else that we have going on every day, this definitely keeps you organized. And utilize this sheet at I would say, the last week of every month for the month coming. So this is make the last week of every month like your planning month to plan for the next month. So next week, or even, start at the end of this week. Can't believe we're almost at the end of September here, but, to start planning for October, use this weekly review sheet to start writing your monthly goals now. What do you want your personal sales to be? How many people do you want to sponsor in the following month? How many reorders do you want as well? And all the different categories that it has on here, and your team also too. So if you're a manager or getting ready to promote right now, you want to start planning that for your team, to get in the habit to plan that for your team. And this form is great because it tracks each week. So if you have your personal sales goal set as 1,000, which is good because you get free shipping as far as the following month here, you could break it down. This is how much I'm going to need each week, 250, 250, 250. And then you could see the number of personal sales that you have. How close are you to that goal? You will see basically plan the number of prospects that you need, the number of bookings and parties that you have on your calendar as well, and it also besides forming a habit, it also tells you about your strength and your weaknesses as well, because these questions are very important for you to answer. And what was the big thing that happened in your business this week? And that's a celebration. Sometimes we never stop and celebrate ourselves. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a huge thing. It could be something that, something that you accomplished, something that made you feel good. You shared the opportunity with these many people. You made your 5-a-day challenge where you talk to 5 people a day all week here. So you want to write that down, because you want to see. Lots of times we focus on what we didn't do. Okay, I didn't sponsor this week, or I didn't have this week. So lots of times we focus on what we didn't do versus just that little thing that you accomplish here, whether it's little or whether it's big. So definitely write that down. And then the next question, you want to write, what challenges did you experience? And how did you handle that challenge here? And if you have a challenge, it's something that you don't have to go through that challenge by yourself. Just like we just heard about Ashley and Lexi. Lexi just was saying about the amount of support. She's never experienced that here in any other company. So any challenges that you go to, you have your whole Jafra support team here with you, whether they're in your branch or downline or whatever. All of us here, we are very happy to help anyone. So if you had a challenge, share that with your manager, share that, with, one of your consultants or whatever. Who knows, they might be having the same thing here. So you want to definitely put down your challenges, what went well, what will you do differently moving forward here. So don't feel like, don't feel like you failed, because as I love what Willie Jolly says, he says a setback is a setup for a comeback here. So don't feel like, something set you back, it's the end, and, you can't do the business or anything else here. This is just a lesson that we learn, because, when you're not getting enough no's in the business, you're really not truly an entrepreneur, because that's what an entrepreneur does. An entrepreneur receives no's a lot in this business here. And that just means that a new opportunity for a yes to come right around the corner here. So this is a great tracking sheet. Use it weekly. Print out 12 copies of it. So you know what your strength is. You had a good week, you know what you did. So you know what went well. So you can repeat that. So your strength, your weaknesses, and your monthly goals. So always start the next month with goals that you have identified here.
I love it, Chafica, that you said, like, it keeps you focused. It helps you to track your results. And if you're trying to do anything, we have to track our results. It just reminds me of when I was losing weight and I was on Weight Watchers, and we had to track everything we ate, and everything had points, because then we could measure our success, or how far along we have come, or how much more we have to do. And then, like you said, it forms a habit. So you do it every single month. I love that.
Yes.
That is
Yes. Okay. How many of you are using this weekly review sheet now? Anybody that has used it that can share a testimony or something? Has anybody seen this weekly review sheet before?
No, I've never seen it before. Where shall I find it again?
Okay, this is in the amber region under units. And
okay.
The amber region. God, I can't talk here. The amber region under units here.
Yep.
Okay. It should be under. I can find it, and as we go through, I can post it online.
It should be under the 4 weeks to launch. It'll be under the Motivational Monday section. Find it in there. Yep.
Yeah. 4 weeks to launch the building section here. Okay. Yeah. But print out 12 copies at the top of the form. Put each month there, and then just plan your goals and share this with your manager as well, you know, so she'll know how to support you as well here.
Exactly. Excellent. We are going to go back to our screen now. And our next screen is all about lists. How many of you are list makers? I mean, I know I'm definitely a list maker. And lists are important because they help us to create order systems, and they help us to stay on track. It also, when you make a list, it helps you to create a routine, to get organized and focused. Especially now in the day and age that we're living, people's schedules are changing. We're trying to do everything virtually. For those of you that have children in school, they're either going remote or they're hybrid, but it just helps us to keep on track. You can make a physical list, your to-do list, and then you can also do a mental list too of things that you have to get done, things that you want to do, maybe what you have to do today or tomorrow, but it's a list. So it either is written, it's either mental. I know I make a grocery list when I go to the grocery store, otherwise I will be up and down every aisle and not buy anything that I'm supposed to. You can make if you're going shopping, even sometimes, when you're making your honey-do list for your better half, the chores that you want him to do. So we make lists all the time, even though you may not make them on a physical list. But what should be on your list? So, and that depends on your day. It depends on your schedule. But when we're talking about a list in our Jafra businesses, we want to include every part of our lives on our lists as well too, because our goal as Jafra leaders is to create a lifestyle, a Jafra lifestyle. And that doesn't mean that we're pushing our families aside, or we're pushing, maybe if you have another job aside, but how can we intertwine? How can we make Jafra become a part of our everyday schedule? So by making a list, this helps us to do that. So what I like to do, if you notice on the side here, you have your personal, you have your working with your team, you have working with your leaders and your consultants, and then you have your family list as well too. So by creating that and taking the day, this is what I do. I make my list usually the night before I go to bed. I like to sit down and I like say, what do I need to do tomorrow? And I write down my whole list of what I have to do personally. And then what do I have to accomplish in my Jafra, for my Jafra day? And then where can I maximize my time and maybe drop off a couple orders while I'm going to the doctor's, or maybe I can make a quick phone call while I am in the car and I'm waiting to pick up my granddaughter at school. So where can we do that? And you can break your list down by hour as it has here. You can break it down by morning, afternoon, evening, or you could just make a list so that you can actually see it. Because when it becomes visible, it becomes real and it becomes tangible. So we want to plan our day, all day, every day, because we want to make sure that we're getting things done. And what it does too is it helps us to create a habit. And so as you've heard Jackie say many times, you want to make your plan, and you want to plan your work, and you want to work your plan. So that's what a list helps us to do too. So for some examples, some things, like I said, your personal list, you may be, Rhonda got her nails done today. So good for you. That might have been on your to-do list today too. Maybe you have to, grocery shop. You have to do something like that for your family. Maybe your kids have things to do. You maybe have sporting events, because sometimes our lives just become so overwhelming when we just kind of think about everything that we have to do. But when we can plan it all out and we can kind of organize it, it makes us so much easier. And it's like a puzzle. Where's everything going to fit in during the day? And you'll find that when you make a list, you will get more done. You'll get more accomplished, because when I make my list, instead of crossing everything out, I like to highlight everything so that it's a big, beautiful, colorful page of paper that shows me that I've done everything. And if I haven't gotten everything done on my list today, that's okay, because you can move it to the next day. So your list, it can become, you can move it around, but your list can be flexible, but they can't be optional, because they have to, if you're working on the weekly sheet like Chafica did, and the plan there is to accomplish that goal. So how am I going to reach that goal? So once again, like I said, it helps you to stay focused. It helps you to stay positive, and it creates a great example for your team. And by creating a list and helps you to create your systems, and it also helps you to be consistent. And it helps you to become a leader who is organized, who can share also with her team. And now too, in my world anyways, I have a whole virtual list now that goes on after that list of what I need to do in the virtual world that helps me to get organized. So do any of you make lists? And what do you do? What does your list look like? And how do you share your lists? Anybody want to share some of their tips maybe that they do with their list? I know a lot of times we buy organizers and planners that help us do that as well too, where we can break down our days and make our lists that way.
Marie, I put it there on my notes on the chat, but I can't live without a list. But what I do is I use my calendar on my phone, and I make sure that it tells me what I should do. I also love Google Keep. I don't know what I'd do without Google Keep. Google Keep has a section that is my to-do list for the day. Google Keep keeps all my links, and it's free, and it is a extension on Google. So check it out. And I don't know what I would do without my AirPods. They are my favorite thing. I love my AirPods because I can walk all over. I can even go walk out front and walk in my yard and whatever and never miss a phone call. Plus the fact I never have to have this phone up to my ear, which I don't think is very good for us. But so I would say with some of your first Jafra products, profit, I would definitely get some kind of a phone that, something that it connects. I don't know what Android has, but I'm sure they have something equivalent.
Oh, yes, they do. And I love them too, because it lets you multitask, Vicki, which is why I love my AirPods as well too. So you can be listening maybe to a call but also doing something else at the same time. So you're working in that personal aspect of your life as well as being fed professionally as well too. I love that.
Yeah, and you can listen to Jafra training when you're out exercising. I mean, it's great. At the gym, I make calls at the gym when I'm on the weights. It's like I'm lifting the weights, but I'm talking to clients and talking to people, and it's just my favorite friend.
So it actually helps you to create a Jafra lifestyle, so people can see how you are intertwining your life, the life of Vicki. I always think, what is the day in the life of a successful Jafra leader? What does it look like? So here we are. You're at the gym making your phone calls with your AirPods. So it's a great way for you to be able to do that as well. I love that. Thank you, Vicki.
And Marie, do your business while you're walking and exercising. I can go on a hike and talk to people, so yeah, the tools of the business. And of course, my phone is anytime I have to make an appointment or remember anything, I tell Siri, remind me, Zoom call, and she reminds me. And so I do say my cell phone is my personal assistant, Debbie. She really does talk to me. Debbie said, does she talk to you? Yes, she talks to me.
I know. Exactly. And then, there's all different tools. There's Alexa and all that, all those wonderful things as well. With technology today, as much as it paralyzes some people, it can also it's a wonderful, beautiful tool when you can embrace it and be open to it as well. Yes. But I love that. It's perfect. Anybody else a big list maker?
Yeah, I love Google Keep also as well, Vicki. I use that a lot anytime I'm out to put my new leads, anytime where I meet a new leads here or a potential consultant here. And it's nice that you can color code. We have someone on speak. Oh, okay, it's nice that you can color code the different sections as well here.
And if
Yeah,
you need
so-
to learn how to use it, you just go, for anything you want to do, you go to YouTube and you type
Yes.
in how to use Google Keep. And you'll get all kinds of help.
I know, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else here? Over there listening?
Yes, I thank you, Becky. I told her before. I don't know if I'm unfrozen, but when I meet a client or a potential client at the beach or on my walk or wherever, I will take a picture of us. I will get her information and I say, my memory's terrible. Let's take a picture. And that way I can send it to her. And usually they're on vacation. They love the picture. They can see the beach and they love that they can see me so that I'm not a stranger when I call, or vice versa when they call me. So, and that
Right.
also helps me to remember that, yes, I need to call this person. So that's a good thing for me.
Okay, okay,
So thanks, Becky. That was a good tip.
okay. I was gonna say, Janice, Janice Parker, you have your hand up? Did you have something? Okay, Janice, can you hear
I'm
us?
sorry. I did have my hand up, but that was for something else, and now I've forgotten what it was. But
Okay.
but I do also keep lists. I did not know about Google Keep, but I have an app on my iPhone.
We move there?
Okay, I think so.
Okay, all right. We will get back to her. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So once again, our lists, it keeps us focused. It creates great habits, creates systems to be successful, creates a system for you so that you can be a great example of a leader who leads with discipline, which brings us to our next slide. And we're just going to talk about your attitude and what it is to be a leader that leads with adrenaline versus discipline. So what kind of leader or consultant are you? Are you accidental? Are you intentional? I think sometimes we're a little bit of both, but we're definitely going to dominate one. So let's take a look at some of those qualities that you are. So if you are a leader or a consultant who leads with adrenaline, you usually are the external forces that either get us going or get us down. Usually dictate, the outer external forces will dictate our actions and our responses. So we are very emotional, lots of highs and lots of lows. And when we're high, we are really, really high. And when we're low, we're really, really low. There's really no middle ground. And that happens to all of us all the time, but as long, but we don't want it to be the only way or the thing that motivates us. So, we can tell if we're a leader that leads by adrenaline when we are focused on ourselves or the trip or the prize or the gift. That's what we really, really, really want. So you'll notice that you will sponsor those 10 people to earn the trip. And then after that, you're done. Whereas if you were a disciplined leader, it would just keep continuing because that's what you do. So sometimes when we lead with adrenaline, it's because our business is really good right now and it's really convenient for us. So, you've always heard people have that adrenaline rush. You get that really nice rush, that high, high, high. So if you are a leader who leads with discipline, you are really relying on your internal focuses. You're self-controlled, you're trained, you're disciplined. You've created systems and habits that we talked about in the previous slides that have helped you and that you are maintaining and continuing to grow like that. We have learned self-control. We're tracking our results. We don't necessarily get wrapped up in the trip. The trip is a reward for what we get for having those systems set in place. And we're focused on our growth and on helping each other. How can I help my team earn the trip as well too? And we share the business from our heart. And that's what motivates us. We are motivating because we are caring and sharing, and we're working with intention. We're working with purpose. And Jafra, you'll notice in a leader who leads with discipline, Jafra becomes a lifestyle for her. or for him. So, you know, if we look at the list here, we can just kind of summarize is that if you are working with adrenaline and you're letting those external forces dictate how you're going to do your business, each day is different. We're just going to see what happens, what's going to happen today. You don't really have a specific goal or a motive in the career. It's, you know what, I'm going to go out and I'm going to talk to some people today and we'll just see what happens. Your efforts really depend on what Jafra is giving you. So what's in it for you? So that's why you'll always see those ups and downs in your business, depending on the incentives, the trips. We have a great trip coming up now, the holiday season. Some of you, you know, some of us will say, well, if it's to be, it's to be. Whatever God's will is, then it will happen. And then also our moods and our feelings. If we're not having a really good day, then you know what, maybe I'm not going to really focus on my Jafra today. Instead of saying, this is something that I do, this is something that is going to happen no matter what. So once again, your motivation comes from the outside, and we lead with emotion. Not to say that we don't want to be emotional, because I think as women, we're just emotional creatures. So, but that's not what's you're focusing on, and that's not what's really driving you. And then if you're a disciplined leader, you have a system, you have your tracking, you have your weekly activities, you have your lists, you know your why, and that's what drives you. It's your why. And so that's a really great topic that we touch on in, I think, every single training that there is know your why, and why is it that you're in Jafra, and why do you continue to come to these meetings every single week. And then the leader's effort, it's once again, it's her habits that she's created, that consistency that she's created for not only for herself, but for her team as well too. And when you have that system in place and you have those tasks that you're doing, you're going to earn all the trips and you're going to get all the gifts anyways, because your goal, as you know, is, you know, to sponsor 2 people every month. And when you do that, no matter what, you get all the gifts as well. So a leader takes ownership and she's accountable for her results. She's not blaming it on anything else. She's not blaming it on the pandemic. She's not blaming it on the weather. She's not blaming it on her team that doesn't want to do anything. She's taking accountability for it. And you have a plan, and you have actions, and you have a goal, and you make a plan, and you work your plan, and your motivation comes from within. And you are a leader that leads with conviction. Like I said, we will be a little bit of both. I think we are always a little bit of both, but there's definitely something, because it obviously when you earn a trip, it feels good, and you're on a high, and it's awesome, and that's a great thing to do, because that's how we celebrate each other as well too. So just remember, you know, are you a fan of Jafra, or are you devoted to Jafra? Okay, are you committed to Jafra no matter what, no matter the highs, no matter the lows? It's not always easy to lead, to be a disciplined leader, and it's not always convenient either, but it is very rewarding when we lead with discipline, because it's not only for ourselves, but it's also a great way, an example for us to show our team. And when you have a team, you can work together on those goals and on those systems and on those plans. So we're going to talk about that too on another slide, how, you know, we have to work together as a team, because nobody ever got successful by themselves. Okay, there was always somebody else involved with it. And this, when you create a system and a discipline, and you're leading that way, you are in control of your income. And if you look at Vicki, and I don't know if she found her check yet, but the results of that disciplined action and those systems and that tracking is based on, and then you'll be able to see the wonderful results of her income as well too. So just kind of sit back and just really reflect. What am I doing today? How am I doing that? Why am I doing this? Or why aren't I doing this? And then how can I change that? Or how can I perfect that? Or how can I make it better? What do I need to do? Or what don't I need to do? And so it's a great way for you to kind of do some reflecting, and then to decide. Because it's all about decision, and it's all about the choices that we make in life.
Yeah.
Hey, I found the check.
Oh, yay. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen.
Mhm.
All right, so you can show us your check.
Okay, here we go. We can't talk about it, but I can show it to you.
Okay.
Let's see. Come on. I can't tell whether, okay, is it picking me up? Let's see.
Put it in
I
front of
may
your
have
No.
camera.
virtual
Put it in
off.
front of your camera on your computer or whatever device you're using.
Yeah, hold it up.
Okay.
On the top.
Well, I don't I have to put it like right there. Let's see. Oh, it's upside down.
Oh, I
There we
think it's
go.
because of her virtual green
Okay,
screen.
I'm trying.
Yeah, yeah, your virtual, with your
See it,
virtual
thank you.
background.
Yeah, let me take my virtual back. Let me see.
Yeah, if
Take
you
your
can take your
background off.
virtual background off, yes.
Okay, I'll take it off. Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Yes.
And I'm going to take that off up here, I think, right? Under my settings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, no,
Should
she
be.
told me right here.
Under your video, where it says video, there's that little
Yeah,
arrow.
yeah. Okay, hold
Mhm.
on. Hold
Mhm.
on. Choose the virtual background. I'm going to take none.
None.
Okay.
Now,
Oh, okay, there we are.
go. All right, hold it up. Can you
Hold
just
on,
hold it
hold
up? There we go.
Oh, wait, I got to move it over. I
You
gotta
gotta
move
see the-
bring it up. Okay, there we go. Oh, there we go. We won't talk about it, but you can all see it.
I can't see it.
I want you to, can you see now? You should be able to. My finger's right there on,
I can see. I know there's a lot of. I see a lot of digits.
Oh,
But
okay, yeah. Oh, okay, now we can see it more clearly here.
can you see it now? We're not talking about it, but I'll tell you, I got one just like this last month too, and the month before that.
nice.
Oh, okay, so you
That's
can see
beautiful.
it.
As a
Yes.
result
Pretty good.
of creating
Yes.
habits and
For
systems.
us 78, for, I can't remember, what am I, 77, going to be 78. Not bad.
Yes, yes.
And you know what? Jafra's been giving me checks like that for how many years? 55 years. Well,
Mhm.
really 45, because I started making that kind of money after I'd been in Jafra for 10 years.
So
Yeah,
consistency, habits, systems, and then sharing it and teaching other people to do the same.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Beautiful.
yes.
It's beautiful.
Well,
Thank you.
nice to see that. Thank you for sharing here.
And then how many
Okay.
trips and gifts and you know what I mean? Not only the money, but everything else that Jaffa gives us as well.
Oh my
too.
God.
As a
Mhm.
result of all of that. You probably, I don't know, you probably have bins and bins and bins and rooms and all kinds of good stuff. But that's
Yeah.
the beauty of doing that, you know. So
Yes, yeah.
Maria, the nice Mercedes. I got the cutest Mercedes that I drive. I love
Mhm.
my car. It
Mhm.
drives like a sports car.
Yes.
Love it.
Okay, want to get to the screen, Marie, so we can
sure will, yeah. So we can
finish up here in
here on
10
time.
minutes.
Absolutely. Okay. And now we are going to.
Okay.
Yep.
We're gonna just want to say about motivation and also keeping records as well.
Mhm.
So, like I had mentioned earlier, Jafra just helps us our job a lot easier because they have all of the reports and all the records of anything that we need to track and to motivate and everything. All of the information in units is right there. So, you know, it's nice as a new consultant coming on, you know, you don't have to recreate the wheel. Everything is right there. Everything is right there for you. And to keep records on your team and to motivate them as well. And your income in this business is basically up to you. It's whether you want to do as little as you want or as much as you want here. And this is a conversation that you want to have with your teammates. Know what your teammates' motivation is. Everyone on your team is motivated differently. Everyone on your team learns differently. Some learn, visual. Some learns by auto or listening here. So you want to know what the best way your team is motivated and what the best way your team learns as well. So you want to have that, sit down with your people as far as on your team and ask them how much income do they want to make, and not just about that a month, but basically what would that income serve for them? What would that income do for them and their family? What do they want to purchase? What is their dream? And have them lay that out. Rosa is just excellent at this. She has her vision boards. She has everything posted up, and she teaches her team to do the same thing, but not only to post them. If you have a team member that says, okay, I want to save money up to buy a car. Okay, what kind of car? Will it be a brand new car? Have you gone to the dealership? Have you looked down that car? Have you sat in that car at the dealership? So that's what you want to make a person's motivation real. You want to have them visualize it. You want to have them feel it here. And by doing that, if they want to buy a new house or something for their kids, if they want to take their family on a trip, well, have them look at the place where they want to go, have them pick out the hotel where they want to stay, the resort where they want to stay here, have those pictures up in their head and have that in front of them so they can actually see. You can talk about the training, make sure that they know where to go for training. Have a Facebook group for your team, just for your district. And here you can post all of your district's celebrations here. The Facebook group that I have for my district, we've got celebrations. I do a monthly birthday post. Everybody's month who's in September has been posted. Wish everybody a happy birthday here, and not just with Jafra, but we share different accomplishments in our lives. If any of our consultants, children, if they graduated, someone got married, or anything. So it's not just about Jafra, it's those celebrations, because that's our lives. We want to celebrate everything that's going on in your life here. So posting that training up in your district Facebook group so that they will know. They won't miss anything that's going on for the week here. You can post it on Monday. This is a training going on for the week here, and the Zoom link here. How much does it cost? You want to go over everything so they can understand coming into the business. So they would be easily be able to share it with someone else. And if you have a consultant that has someone that may be interested in the opportunity, do a three-way. Have your make sure your team member knows, identify different days and different times that you're available to have three-way conversations with potential consultants here. So they know that you're open times. They know that they don't have to talk to this person alone, and they can just share that, hey, if we can do a three-way conversation, my manager, she's been in Jaffa for 25 years, and she can share some really exciting things with you. Can we do it? Do I have your permission so we can, have a chat, get together and just have a girls chat, and you can call it that. So they can feel comfortable that it's, not anything that you're trying to make them do and stuff. Ask, hey, are you available at Thursday at 7:00 just for a girls chat, so we can answer any questions that you have here. And make sure that they know how they get started, all the different business kits. So this is all training your team so they will be available and ready to share the opportunity with other people as well. But then they know that they have the full support of you. Okay, so that's all about basically about motivation and getting your team and building your team constantly as well.
I think an important thing, if I can share, Chafica, here, is that to take it to another level too, and to ask her, why does she want to become a leader? You've recognized some of the qualities in her, invited her to be a leadership, and what does that mean to her, and why was that so important to her? We just did that on one of our last leader meetings, and you'd be really surprised of what people will tell you, because that's important too, because you have to help her to create that vision and that dream of what is it? What do you look like? How do you feel? Who's with you?
Yes.
Where are you? So you want to, and then when she's having that bad day or that rough day, you can go back to that why and motivate her and bring her back up to that level where she needs to be. And I love that because
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
so important
Yeah, that's a good point.
to mentor
Good
her.
point there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Then
To the next one.
this is our final slide right here.
Yes.
And we
And I love.
go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And I love this slide. Maria and I just love this slide because it helps you identify your Jafra team and to keep on building. And this is all this team star chart is in the Jafra Amber Region Consultants Facebook group in the units. I looked it up. It's in unit 15, advancing to leadership here. So this is a star chart that you can print out, and you can blow this up. I know Rosa has blown this up here. You can either keep it the size or blow this up to actually show the people. Like, you can take a picture of them and print it out and just put their face on that star. You can put their names in as well, but if you see people's faces on that star, and then they can see that, you can share that with your district. And imagine seeing your face in a star like that. It's like, wow, I'm part of a team. I'm part of a community. I'm part of something here. So this is a important chart, and it leads you along the way. And it has your bonuses also too. So you could basically identify yourself with this chart, put your team name on the top, what I was talking about before, in your promotion date. So you can either, write the person's name in there or put their picture in there, but this would be up somewhere where you could see this every day. So you could see how close you are as far as to your team, how close you are in your accomplishments as well. Mm-hmm. So Marie, you want to add anything to this?
I do. This is a great tracking tool, and I'm going to recommend that as you're doing that for yourself, all of those stars underneath here that you have on your team, have them make a chart for themselves too. And who are they bringing into Jafra? Who are they inviting into it? And when you get here to this star here with your bonus on it, stop and celebrate and take the time to really, really, really relish your accomplishments, but don't stop there, because you've just started the momentum. So we want to keep it going. So who else in your team is doing that with you? Because once you become a manager, and that's the first level of this whole leadership program, you've started the momentum. So you want to keep it going and keep it going and keep it going. And what it helps you to do too is to create that system of the quarterly bonus, where we're sponsoring 2 directs, and then our team is also sponsoring, and then we're sponsoring 6 indirects a month, so that we can get that beautiful bonus at the end of it all as well too. But it's even more about that, because you're helping a leader helps people to become leaders and develops leaders all at the same time. And that's why Vicki has that beautiful check. And yes, I want that beautiful check.
We all do.
Deserve to have that beautiful check as well too. But it's not going to happen alone. It's not going to happen just you doing it by yourself. It's going to happen when you teach everybody on your team, and you teach other people on your team to do that as well too. And I can remember when I promoted to manager, we had to have 10 people. I don't know, you can probably remember this too, and $4,000 in sales. And we did it. And we didn't even think twice about it. Right now, 4 people, we all know 4 people.
Yes.
Would benefit from Jafra in whatever way. When you talk to them, whatever their why is, how is Jafra a solution for them? Whether, it's through product, it's through money, it's through networking, it's from recognition, whatever it is, listen to her, because we have such a great gift. And the gift of a Jaffa business, the gift of the kit, it's just another kit that we have to offer people. Just like we have a skincare kit or we have a spa kit, we also have a business kit. You know what? And it's $39. It's one of the least expensive sets or gifts that we have, but it reaps such huge benefits and rewards.
Yes, definitely.
So just think,
Yes.
and not only for yourself, but ask your team members, ask the people, the women that you're inviting, who do they know that would like to do this as well too?
Mm-hmm.
So this star chart, you could fill up the whole sky with millions and millions and millions and millions of bright, beautiful stars. I love it.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Excellent. So we're going to stop our sharing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I want to I just thought of something as well. I see Wileen had typed when I had mentioned about Gladys Knight that she was our entertainment back in the 90s. And I remember that so well because Patricia Clover, my leader who's on right now, when she invited me to join Jaffa, she was always talking about all these wonderful trips here and stuff. And both of us live in the Washington, D.C. area right here in Maryland here. So she was telling me, join Jaffa, I've been to this place, I've been to that place, I've been to all these exotic, wonderful trips here and stuff. So I joined in 1992 and the Jaffa trip was right here in Washington, D.C. And I was like, what? It's like, you tell me about all these fantastic trips, all these islands and exotic places. And the year I joined is right here where I live. So I didn't travel. I didn't
There's
travel
no place
anywhere.
like home, Chafica.
Yeah,
no place like home.
I know. It's like I didn't travel anywhere and I was cracking up, but it made for it because it was in Washington at a center that we have here as far as in Washington, and then Gladys Knight was our entertainment here. So so that made it all worthwhile. We were right up front and saw Gladys Knight perform the whole night. So it was great here, but I had to share that story because I was just cracking up laughing when she, had me join in all these exotic places here. But it was nice here.
Do you remember the Pointer Sisters? I think either the year before, the year after.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Pointer Sisters were phenomenal too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But,
Okay.
before we end, we're just a little bit over. I just wanted to share just this really article that I get that I love. It's from Team Connections, and it's about we talked about habits and systems and keeping ourselves focused and making lists. So the 4 tiny little habits, because it doesn't have to be something huge in order to change or to shift your business. It's something very, very, very small, but what it is, it's about doing it over and over and over and over and over again, that it becomes a habit, okay? So 4 tiny little habits of successful people. So when you think about successful people, these are some of the things that they will do. Number 1, they will plan. Successful people will have to-do lists. They may not have them in the same way that we do, but you can bet on them. They will create top priorities on their lists before they go to bed or very soon after they get up. Setting goals and accomplishing tasks is a daily activity. While they may have several items to work on, they will always have 2 or 3 priorities, top priorities that they will achieve. Number 2, successful people will focus. They do not multitask. If anything, the opposite is true. They will compartmentalize, which means they will work on one thing at a time, and their focus is task ahead. Number 3, successful people will read. So reading is a habit that forces you to step away from doing and becoming mental. It becomes a mental thing in a good way, not in a crazy way. Reading gives you new ideas, and it connects old ones with new premonitions. So when you listen to successful people talk, they'll like on YouTube or live, you'll hear them reference, and that was something that I was reading, or I recently read this in an article. So they're constantly feeding themselves. And then the fourth thing is that successful people spend time away from work. They unplug. And no one can be on their deathbed saying, I wish I had spent my free weekend and my vacations at the office or, on the computer doing my work. Successful people know that, so they spend times with their loved ones in leisure activities. Working sometimes can be very demanding, and the leisure time may come in small little bites, but it's there. So remember, you need to step back, you need to celebrate, and you need to take time with your loved ones and the things that matter in your life as well too. So I just wanted to end with that. I think it's a really great article, and those are just 4 tiny little things that we can all start to incorporate into our lives as well too. So does anybody have any questions before we end or before we leave? Or Chafica, did you want to end with something?
No, I think that's about it here. I just want to, encourage everybody, keep on building your team. Keep on, being those Dorothys out there, and and everybody else, to see bring out the courage that people might not feel that they have in them, to show them and lead the way as far as to do this business. Right now, as you know, October, we're moving into the most profitable time of the year, of the holiday season. And, on the news, they're already talking about how everybody, like, online shopping is going to be more on steroids than it ever has been here. So, and we have the perfect position. We have the perfect position to get out there on social media, introduce everyone, send our Jafra website link as far as to everyone, and let everybody know that that they can have this home-based business, and they can start build a legacy like Vicki has all these years here. So so this is the perfect time to do that, because a lot of these companies are not coming back. These restaurants and everything else. Right now, they had something on the news how these restaurants right now, they've got outside eating here, but as we're going to getting cold into the winter months, a lot of these restaurants say that they don't know what they're going to do, besides closing down, because they can't continue. It's a lot of people out there that need our help, and just ask everybody, if it's not for you, who do you know? Who do you know that we can maybe talk to here?
Let's be a solution to someone's problem.
Yes, exactly.
So
we thank you all for joining us here, and we know we went over a little bit here, so we want to thank everybody waving. Okay, so we want to thank everybody here. Oh, I'm sorry, Pat, you had something? You unmute yourself?
Yeah, just real quick, there was a question in the chat, if you don't mind answering. It was for Vicki. It's one of the consultants, Danielle, wanted to know how many people Vicki has under her, and I thought that would be an awesome to hear Vicki's answer for that, and her number in her district.
Okay. Is she still on?
I don't know.
She left.
Yeah, Vicki left.
Yeah, okay.
She's gone.
Yeah, Vicki left. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
I know she. I was gonna say,
It's thousands.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Right.
Tens of thousands.
She
Yeah.
has at least
Remember-
15 direct branches. She has at least 15 direct branches, and then each one of those branches probably has dozens underneath it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she has consultants in every state. Yes.
Right.
Right.
So, because at the ambassador level, you have to have 15, like Cheryl said, 15 direct groups. And then underneath that.
Yeah, because she's got district directors underneath her.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
many branches, probably more than 15 too. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
But
Well,
that's-
15, at
that's
least 15 in her
requirement.
first line, just in the first line.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
That's where
Okay.
15% comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, thank you all. We know
Thank
we went a little over, but we thank you for joining us tonight. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at any times, or your leader. And we want to see everybody on here with well, I was going to say the amount. I was going to say the amount, but I can't say the amount. But we want to see everybody with a check like Vicki.
Exactly. Because we deserve it. Okay. We're
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. We're probably working as hard.
I know.
We're just not making the money. So what do we need
I
to
know.
what do we need to tweak? What do we need to sit back and read?
Exactly. Yeah. So okay, everybody. Thank you. And
Thank you.
Thank you.